go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing.
Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie, and today I have 10 new Dollar Tree Beach Terrarium DIY ideas for you. These were really fun to put together, and I can't wait to show you my ideas. So the first one is this little, bubble vase from the Dollar Tree. It's made out of glass, and I've noticed that there are two different sizes. This is the larger one. It's like a complete ball shape, but then it has like a flat bottom, and it's made out of a really nice heavy-duty glass. I think it's going to make a perfect terrarium. Now, I kind of thought it would be fun to make a pedestal for this, and I'm going to use one of these little glass candle holders from the Dollar Tree. A great deal. You get 4 in a package for $1.25, and if we do bottom to bottom like that, we can make a really fun little stand for it. So this is what I'm going to try to use. I got this at Dollar Tree, of course, and it's the multi-purpose cement. I'm completely out of E6000, and I was thinking this might do the job, and actually it seems to have done the trick. It says ceramics. It doesn't necessarily say glass, so I wasn't sure, but I go around the outer edges with that, and then I kind of just do a glob of hot glue right in the middle, nice and thick enough where it'll come up and meet the glass. And that will, keep it on there short term, but hopefully the cement glue from the Dollar Tree there will keep it long term, and it seems really secure. So I just went ahead and did that first on this one, and there is like a little terrarium shape with a stand, and I thought beach terrariums was perfect. So let's get some Dollar Tree sand and let's start building. This is the white sand. It's all I can find at Dollar Tree right now. After today, I'm completely out of tan sand, so I'm going to have to go to the beach if I want sand because I've looked everywhere. I don't know what the deal is. I think everybody's buying all the tan sand. But this is the white, and I'm going to use some different colors today. The white also looks like a white sand beach. It's really white. I just pour, a couple inches in the bottom to cover the bottom and give me a nice little beachy base. And then I wanted to kind of stick with like a white, very light color scheme for this one. I wanted this terrarium to look really elegant. And these are little rocks from the Dollar Tree. They're real pretty. They're whites and grays. There are like a little bit of pinkish colors in there, but I'm just going to kind of pick out the whites and grays. And then this is some onion grass that I also picked up at the Dollar Tree. One thing about like smaller terrariums, the Dollar Tree doesn't have a lot of great selection in very small plants. So we're going to get creative and make our own. So I picked up some of these little metal beads from the Dollar Tree. It doesn't have to be metal, but these were the only ones I could find. And I thought maybe I could make a little base and we could build our own little tiny plant. So I cut off some of the onion grass. It's thinner at the tip. And I cut off like 2 rows of that. And then I just put a little dot of hot glue inside that little gold plastic bead and kind of shoved the grass down inside. And then using like a little hair cutting technique, I'm just trying to cut like the different grasses, different lengths to make it look a little bit more natural. And then I'm just going to bury that in the sand. Now on future terrariums, I was smarter and glued things to the bottom. So this one's a little bit more flexible, but I guess this is what you would want to do if you wanted to be able to take it apart and reuse stuff in the future, or whether you want it to be a little bit more permanent. Not that hot glue is really permanent, but I just did the same thing with this one. I took another bead and cut down some of the grass. Sometimes I can't get like 2 batches in there, but same thing. Just do a quick little cut there at the end. And I'm just going to start building this out. I want this to look like a white sand beach with some rocks. I want it to look like there's some grass on the beach. And, it's going to have like a very thin appearance like this to be like this scale, which is kind of why I thought the onion grass would work for this. Because again, none of the Dollar Tree plants are going to be that small. So we've got like 3 of them in there at that point. I do add more. Now, since I'm going with the light color scheme, I wanted to add some driftwood, and this is the driftwood vase filler from Target. I love to stock up on this when it goes on sale, and it's nice and light color. So I just added a couple pieces of driftwood in there that look like they might have washed up on the beach. And then I said, yeah, I need more grass. So I'm going to keep going with that same onion grass. This is the one with the butterflies, but it doesn't matter, whatever your store has. Sometimes I could only get like one batch inside of the little bead, but sometimes I could get two. I guess it kind of depends on how like thick the little blades of grass are. But we're going to do a couple more. And again, I'm just burying them down inside the sand, which isn't the most secure way, but we're going to make it work. Now, it's a beach, so we need like seashells, right? These are the little tiny seashells. They come in these little glass bottles. I love using these. And I thought we'd pick out some like lighter colors. I really like that white and brown one. And then some of these little tiny shells, like in some lighter colors. I really wanted like elegance with this one, a very elegant white sand beach. And then these little tiny starfish, I actually get these on Amazon. They are listed in my shop below. I love them. I get the blue ones and the ivory ones there, and they're so cute. They all come in one package, but I like to kind of sort out the larger ones from the smaller ones. And that is great because you could stand it in the sand like that. And then I thought maybe another seashell, and then I thought I still didn't have enough grass, and I still have some onion grass here, and I have plenty of these little beads. And this actually worked really well to make a little tiny plant. And I just made a little bit more grass to kind of spread it out there. I kind of wanted to look like grass that would be on a dune or something like that. And maybe add, one more thing, another rock. And here's our little elegant white sand beach terrarium. I think this is really pretty. Really, I could add this anywhere in my house. It would be really pretty. I think I'll put this in my living room. I've kind of got like a kind of sophisticated beach feel in my living room, and I think that this would be perfect. What do you guys think about this one? This is my elegant white sand beach terrarium DIY #1. Okay. Now, these are actually terrarium planters. They always have these at the Dollar Tree. I'm sure you've seen them. They're made out of clear plastic, and they have a great little hanger on them. Now, this is one of these little succulents that I had previously just pulled out of one of the pots from the Dollar Tree like that. And it is like the smallest, like grassy one I could find at Dollar Tree. And then this is one of the little flamingos from the fairy garden section at Dollar Tree this year. And I thought we would do fun on this one. We're going to do a fun little flamingo beach terrarium for this one. But even though this was the smallest one they have, it's still too big. So I just go in all around the edges, and I'm just cutting all of the grasses shorter. And I'm also kind of cutting it at a diagonal. So, like the tips still have some kind of a point. But cutting off a lot of that width to make it small enough to fit in here. I want it to look like kind of like a air plant, that you would see in a terrarium. But one of these that you can't kill. Yes, I think I've even killed an air plant. I have trouble keeping plants alive. But if you guys watch my cactus tier tray DIY video last year, it is still alive. I can't believe it. Now, I cut the stem off of it. I knew it was going to kind of fall apart if I did that, but I really needed to get it out of the way. So as you can see, I just hot glued it back together. No big deal. And then I hot glue the little plastic grassy plant, air plant, I guess, in there with the plastic. Now you do have to let it dry, like plastic to plastic. It's not going to stand up in there perfectly, but that's what it looks like so far. The beginning of our little flamingo beach terrarium. Had to exercise a little bit of patience there. And then here is the little flamingo. These little fairy garden things are perfect for beach terrariums, and they had so many beachy items this year. And since I'm going to glue things down from now on with these terrariums, I glued that to the bottom to, so it will stay in place no matter where I hang it. If I, hang it by a string or wherever, it's gonna be fine. And if you have any strings of hot glue, you're gonna wanna get rid of them before you start putting your sand in, then it's gonna probably be too late. This is the tan sand from the Dollar Tree that I'm having a terrible time finding. And I just cut off a corner. I like to store mine in baggies when I'm done with them so they don't spill all over the place. Those bags are not resealable. And I don't really want it like sitting in my air plant. So I kind of like turn it upside down and kind of shake it out. And I'm just adding a little bit of the sand at a time until I get like a good depth of that. I want to cover up the base of the air plant. I also want to cover up like the base of the flamingo, but I don't want too much sand in there in case it moves around a little bit if I hang this outside, which I probably will. And I have a little bit of room in there, so I'm going to actually add just a seashell. I think this is from Dollar Tree, kind of a larger one, kind of back here in the back to provide a nice little shell backdrop there to go with our plant and our flamingo. And then I thought for water, I would try some of this crushed glass from the Dollar Tree. It's not my favorite color of blue, but hey, it is kind of like a crushed sea glass, so I thought we could probably make it work. And we're going for fun with this terrarium, so I wanted bright colors. So I just sprinkle some in my hand, and then I just kind of place them in there, trying to form a little water where the beach meets the water right there in the front, like the little flamingo is standing on the beach right next to the water. I don't want to add too much. I just want to add a little splash of color to kind of represent like the blue ocean. And I just kind of, do it at an odd angle like that, kind of like an ocean wave would be. And then I thought little tiny seashells would be perfect. These are my favorite ones, the little tiny tan ones from the Dollar Tree bottles. Love those. And those are the smallest ones I have. So I just put a couple of them in there, kind of scattered them out on my little flamingo beach. And this one was really fun and whimsical to make. And again, it is made out of plastic, so it's going to be pretty durable. I mean, if it gets knocked over, the sand and rocks will come out of it, but you could always rebuild. And I just tie some twine to the hanger on top because I think I'm going to hang this guy. But you could always use one of those little ornament hangers. I saw those at the Target dollar spot recently, and I wish I would have picked them up, because they would be perfect for these beach terrariums with the little hooks on there like that. So here it is, our little flamingo beach. Super sweet, super easy. I just used a Dollar Tree succulent, sand, crushed glass, a little fairy garden flamingo, and some seashells. Isn't it cute? I think it's bright and fun. Okay, next beach terrarium. I try to find different shapes and sizes, different items in case you can't find something that I use, that you have lots of options. Now this vase is shaped kind of cool, but I also kind of want to make a pedestal with this. So you know what? I'm going to use the candle holder on this one too to kind of see what it looks like compared to the first one that we did. And we're using that multi-purpose cement along the edges. There's a little bit of a ridge there, and then a big glob of hot glue right in the middle to make sure it's thick enough to make contact with the bottom of the glass. And this gave it an interesting shape. This is actually, a fairly large size vase, and I've been finding these very frequently at the Dollar Tree as well. Now for this one, we're going to use the other one in this fairy garden pack. This was my favorite fairy garden pack. The sea turtle. He has blue coral, a seashell, sand, and I think he's going to be just the right size for here. And I am just going to hot glue him to the bottom of the glass vase, just like that. Now for this one, I kind of want to do fun, but I want to do really pretty too. So I thought we would do some colors, some corals with this one, make it look like he is swimming in the ocean, right? Now, this is glitter coral. They have this for 4th of July. My Dollar Tree seems to have it all the time, but you know what? It is 4th of July season. Maybe that is why they had it. But I love this stuff because it does look like coral. The only thing I don't love about it is that, you know, it has glitter all over it. But you know what? We'll make do. We'll make do. Now, the little gold beads worked great for the grass, so I thought they would work for the coral as well. I just cut one of the pieces down, and then I'm just cutting the stems off, which was super easy because that part was made out of plastic. And I'm going to do the same thing I did with the grass. I just put a dot of hot glue inside the bead to make a base, and then just put the coral in there. Now, on some of these, the really smaller pieces, I could fit more than one in there, which is great. I can kind of have them going off in different directions. And some of them are really tall and tiny, like that one. And I'm just kind of piecing them together, making some coral so we can make a fun little coral background for our sea turtle. It's going to make it look like he is swimming through some coral in the blue ocean is what we're going for this beach terrarium. My son loved these beach terrariums so much. I had made 5 yesterday, and he's like, make more, make more, make more. He thought they were so fun, and I did too. So I am just using a dot of hot glue on the bottom of those gold beads and just gluing them to the base, trying to make sure they stand up fairly well before the hot glue sets up there. And I really prefer this technique of gluing everything to the bottom and then adding sand, because then you don't have to worry about things falling over and having to readjust stuff. And if you move it and stuff like that, I decided I needed more coral. So I made another and another just to fill it up. I kind of wanted it to be a full coral backdrop there for our little sea turtle. And then for this project, I wanted to try the blue sand. It's not my favorite color that the Dollar Tree has because it's got like different colors of blue and darker colors in there, like kind of like a navy-ish color. But hey, we're going for fun and colorful with this, and our little sea turtle's kind of colorful too, so why not? I thought it would be a nice contrast against the white. So I just dump enough in there until I'm happy with it. And then I thought I would use some of these like little white rocks from the Dollar Tree. And I thought they would help me build like a little coral reef for him to be swimming in. So I kind of want to build that up kind of as a background for him. Because from the front, you're going to be able to see the sea turtle. And when you look in, it's going to kind of, you know, from the side, it's going to look like he is swimming through a coral reef. So I'm just trying to get those exactly where I want it. I found that a paintbrush, just, you know, one that's never been used, works great for adjusting the terrariums because you can adjust your sand, you can adjust your rocks or pebbles or whatever you're going to use. And it worked really well for that. Then I thought, you know, it's still a beach. We're going to need some shells, right? So I thought maybe some of these little tiny seashells, kind of sticking with that white and blue theme with this one. And here is our little sea turtle. Let me give you a better view of how he turned out. I think the coral is really super fun and cute. And I love the colors on this little guy. I'm a huge sea turtle lover. We have sea turtles that nest on our beach here in Vero Beach. And I have seen them lay the eggs in the middle of the night. I went with a turtle tour walk, and we got to get down on our knees and watch the turtle lay eggs. I've also seen leatherbacks hatch out at night here, and little turtles head back to the ocean. I love them. Okay, now this one I thought, hey, let's try to do like a bigger beach terrarium using an item from the Dollar Tree. And this is a glass vase that I found at the Dollar Tree. It's nice and tall. And it's got an interesting shape to it as well. So I don't need to make a base or anything like that. It's plenty big. Now I kind of wanted to do something elegant with this beach terrarium. Something kind of simple, coastal, and beautiful. And so I found this greenery at Dollar Tree. It's kind of large. It's a fern. But I kind of liked the look of the leaves. I think they look really tropical. So we won't need very many of them. I think one little sprig like that. Now, they are large, so even though this is a tall vase, they really kind of wanted to stick out the top. I did try trimming it down a little bit, but you know what? They still kind of like stuck out a little bit too far, but no big deal. We'll just trim these down a little bit. But I think these are really pretty. Dollar Tree is killing it with the greenery lately. So I just cut down 3 pieces of that. I want to make like, you know, like a coastal fern background with that, if you will. And so the gold beads worked great for making little miniature plants. So we're going to use that again. I just do a dot of hot glue inside the gold bead and then stick the little fern leaf right down inside. And 3 of these is definitely going to be plenty to kind of fill up the back of these. I kind of want to arrange them the way they were before, like that, with like the tallest one in the middle and then the other 2 on each side. So once I have them all together like that, now we can just start gluing them down. So I just do a dot of hot glue on the bottom and kind of put it towards the back, but not all the way towards the back. I want there to be enough room for like the leaf to curl like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing here with the other 2, just kind of putting 1 on each side. I just want to do like a fern, like grass background, just something super easy. And this one we're going to use, I was thinking like, you know, browns and whites. So we're using like the tan sand, and we're going to use some of those like brownish stones from the Dollar Tree and a Dollar Tree starfish. I thought that would be perfect as well. So we got all of those secured to the bottom, kind of like that. They're kind of on the back, like what, 1/3 of the vase? Like that. And then I kind of want to do like 2 different zones on this one. I do want to do like sand, but I also want to do like rocks in the back of it. But I'm going to start with sand first. So I'm just going to pour like enough sand in to cover like the curvy part of the base there. Not too deep. Gotta conserve my sand. And then I kind of want to build it up a little bit taller in the back. And we're going to do that with these Dollar Tree stones. Look how pretty these are. I really love having the variety of different stones and rocks to craft with. You never know what you're going to find at Dollar Tree. So this is what they look like. I think I'm going to go with, I just love the colors. I think they're pretty. I'm going to kind of use a variety. And I'm just going to sprinkle them behind the plant, keeping like, I kind of want it to be sandy in front, rocky in back. Now, this is just the shore living starfish. It's plastic from Dollar Tree. And it might take 2, 3, 4 tries, but you can get it in this vase if you try hard enough. Just keep turning, and I'm just going to kind of stab it into the sand like that. Then I wanted to add some grass. So I have, you know, the rest of that onion grass that we used from earlier. And they already have like kind of, you know, a base where it's all connected. So I'm going to do what I did before, just kind of cutting them different lengths. This is a thicker grass because it was more towards the base, but we have it, so we might as well just use it. So I kind of want it to kind of peek out from behind the fern leaves. So I just kind of push that down into the grass. It's pretty lightweight. I think it's going to stay put there. Pushing it down in between the rocks, down into the sand. And this one was really easy to do. I do end up flipping that starfish around the other way where you can see its textured bottom. And I did do that off camera, so when you see it in the final reveal, it will look like even better. And then these are, again, those little tiny seashells from the Dollar Tree. I'm trying to keep with the white and brown color scheme, picking out some white and brown ones. And then, you know, maybe a few more little pebbles here in the back. And I think this one's really pretty and so simple. I kind of like the simplicity of it. I really love the starfish and the colors. And here you can see, I just reached in there and flipped the star around because I said, you know, I think it would look even better if you could see the texture on the bottom of that starfish. And look how pretty that is. I usually don't display these starfish that way, but I love it. So super easy, kind of a Dollar Tree DIY where you can do a larger terrarium. But I kind of like the simplicity of that one. Okay, here is another plastic terrarium that they carry at the Dollar Tree, and this is the light bulb one. Not my favorite one, but you know, I thought we could still do something cute with it. I have made one of these into like a solar light, and it turned out pretty cute, so I thought I would try one for a terrarium as well. And I thought we could do something really fun with these flip-flops. These are Fairy Garden, these little orange flip-flops, and I thought nothing beachier than some flip-flops and a beach umbrella, right? So I picked up some of these little umbrella picks. These are the little umbrellas for your drinks that they have in the summer aisle at Dollar Tree right now. And trying to pick out a nice color, I thought maybe a bright blue little drink umbrella would make a cute little beach umbrella on a miniature scale, right? So I am just opening it up. For some reason, mine didn't really want to stay open, so I did have to help it out a little bit by adding some hot glue there to keep it open. Now, if you're going to recreate in the same terrarium the little light bulb, you might want to open it after you get it in there, because I opened it, I glued it open, and then I was like, wait a minute, how am I going to get it in there, right? But with a little bit of maneuvering, I was able to get it in there without causing any damage. But it's on a little clear plastic toothpick, right? Which is great. But it's a little too long, so I just trim off like the pointy end. And then I thought we could use the gold beads that we've been using for bases for the plants the same way. So I do a dot of hot glue on the bottom of the light bulb terrarium. Add the little gold bead in there with the whole side up like that. And then we can glue the little beach umbrella in there, which is our little drink umbrella. And it makes a perfect beach umbrella, doesn't it? Isn't that cute? You gotta be clever sometimes to come up with some of the miniature items, right? And I thought flip-flops in the sand would be perfect. Like the person had left their beach umbrella and flip-flops and they were off swimming in the ocean. That's the vibes we're going for. So I'm going to hot glue the little flip-flops to the base as well. They're kind of standing up, kind of pointing out of the sand on this one. And this was another very fun, whimsical beach terrarium. Very colorful, very beachy. I think I might use this one out in my Florida room as well. Oh, that reminds me, I've promised you guys a tour. It is 99% ready because I have company coming for my son's graduation. He's graduating from high school next week. And I will give you a tour, I promise. And I'm just using the tan sand from the Dollar Tree. Try not to use too much. I just want to cover up the base of the shoes and kind of make it look like there's a little bit of a beach scene in there. Super cute. I love the little hole cutout on the front. It makes it really easy to decorate. Now, I thought, you know, we might as well add a little bucket of sand too. That's also a little fairy garden item. And it's like just a little orange bucket with a shovel and sand. And there's plenty of room in here for that. Now, I didn't really, you know, plan that originally, but I just pushed some of the sand aside so that I can hot glue that down too. And then I can just work the sand back around it. No big deal. Just making sure everything is standing up. I got all the glue out of there. So that's a cute little beach scene. It's super easy, but I think it's super fun. And of course, a beach, we got to do seashells. So again, I'm using those little tiny ones. I love that they come in all these different kinds, but you know, I really like sorting mine out. That is a toy organizer from the Dollar Tree. It works great. You can see what you have. And then I am also going to use one of the little starfish in blue this time that I get on Amazon. And I just kind of stand that up in the sand as well. Maybe another seashell. Can't have too many seashells, right? And then screw the lid back on. Now, the hanger was kind of weird. Like, I don't know how it was in there before, but it wasn't tied or anything like that. So I kind of strung it back through the light bulb top and tied a knot. Now, when I did that, it still was not like thick enough to stay in there. So maybe they just had it screwed around the edge, but I fixed that by just hot gluing the little knot to make it a little wider. It's going to make it stay in there and make it a little bit stronger. And we're just going to use that existing hanger and a brass color on there. I think it's fine. And we have a little light bulb terrarium with a cute little beach scene. I love the little beach umbrella and the flip-flops. Totally my vibe. And I need a beach day so bad. With all this company coming, I'm guaranteed lots of beach days in the very near future. So I'm super excited because I need it. But I thought this was really cute and it was really fun to make. Hey guys, I want to take a quick moment out of this video and tell you about my Facebook group. I have a link below. You're going to love seeing what everybody's working on, and you always find out when I'm posting a new video. I also have a Facebook page, Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest, and my handle is Crafty Beach on YouTube on all of those. Okay, let's try something different. So this is the light blue candle holder from the Dollar Tree, and this is just one of the heavy-duty glass bowls that they have in the kitchen aisle at Dollar Tree. So I thought, hey, we could probably make a terrarium out of a glass bowl, and they're a nice, heavy, thick glass. So I thought it would be the perfect base there to attach a candle holder to make a nice little pedestal for it. And that candle holder is the perfect color of beachy blue. Like all the others, I am just using a bead of the cement glue there all along the edges, and then I will do hot glue right in the center. And all of these seem like super sturdy, so I think this combination seemed to work. And then I'm just going to lay the candle holder on top. I love these candle holders in this color. Whenever I see them, I'm always sure to pick them up because I don't have to paint them or anything, and they're a nice beachy color. And see how the candle holder is like the same size as the base of the bowl, so it is a perfect fit. So it's going to give you kind of that kind of a terrarium feel. And this is another succulent from the Dollar Tree. It's a succulent pick. It is too big, as is most plants from the Dollar Tree, but we're going to modify it and make it work. I thought if it was like just maybe a couple rows shorter, it would be the perfect size. So I just snip off 2 rows of the leaves, and then it is the perfect size now for our little terrarium. So I'm going to hot glue it towards the back on this one. For this one, I'm going like kind of a traditional beach scene, but kind of, you know, kind of fun, but kind of elegant, kind of a mixture on this one, to be honest. So I'm kind of checking out my fairy garden stash. I have a great little beach sign. I think that's going to fit in there perfectly. And then check these out. They're little sandcastles. Aren't they cute? I love it. So I thought we could do like a sandcastle. This is going to look like a beach with a little beach sign and a sandcastle. Just trying to figure out what would fit well. See the little beach sign? Isn't it cute? So we've already glued down the little succulent in there. So now I'm going to glue down the little beach sign. And I wanted to show you, you know, how you could use some of the Dollar Tree plants, even though they are a little on the large side, to make them work for a tropical plant. And this kind of looks like, you know, a succulent, which we have like tons of aloe and stuff like that on our beach. So it totally fits in. And then we're using some of the tan sand from the Dollar Tree to make our little beach. Again, kind of conserving it a little bit, but definitely using enough to cover up the bottom of the bowl. The bowl's kind of a larger bowl, right? Than some of them that we've been working with. Then I wanted like a light blue sand, not that dark blue sand. And I thought maybe what would happen if I mixed the blue and the white together. So we're going to try that. And check out these craft funnels that I found at Crafter Square at Dollar Tree. What a find, huh? And I'm going to actually use these a lot today because once I started using them, I realized how useful they were. I'm going to use one of those little glass bottles that the seashells come in, and I'm going to dump in some of the blue sand and then dump in some of the white sand. I thought, hey, you know what? If we mix those together, maybe I could get like a lighter blue sand, something that's going to look a little bit more like the ocean and not as dark. Now, it does require a lot of shaking. I wasn't super happy with it, so I did add a little bit more white to mine. And give it a good shake again, and then I kind of got a cool color. Kind of reminded me of the ocean, right? So I like to use Dollar Tree items, so sometimes you have to modify them to make them the way you like. So we're going to sprinkle this over on the side and make a little ocean. Then I realized, you know, that funnel would be great to aim the sand exactly where I want it. And so I started doing that, and I love that. So I got my water splashing up the side of the beach there, and maybe a little bit more sand on the side of our sandcastle so it's not completely covered in ocean. And then those little tiny seashells are going to make the perfect addition to the beachy side over here. So, you know, it's not real colorful. It's kind of more muted, the colors on this one. It's a little bit more elegant, but it does have the fun touches of like the sandcastle, the little beach sign. We're also going to add one of those little Amazon starfish in there. You guys know I love those. And it's so cute. And this is how it turned out. This is our little DIY beach terrarium made out of a Dollar Tree bowl and a light blue candlestick. And I love this one. This one's really pretty. I might put this in my kitchen. I'm going to have terrarium everywhere because I made 10 of them for you guys. My company's probably going to be wanting to take them home. So let's make another one. I've got a fun theme for this one based on a vacation that we went on this year. And my theme, of course, is Hawaii, if you can kind of see some of the items we're going to use today. So this is the same one that we used earlier, the bubble vase from Dollar Tree, the larger one. And check out these little fairy garden. We got a little hula dancer. We got a palm tree. They're the perfect size to fit in here. Now for greenery, I thought this little succulent pick kind of looked Hawaiian because it's got like that pink color in it. So it's a little bit more colorful, and that could be our plant for inside this terrarium. And I tried to use a plant for all of them. It was a little too large as well, so I did the same thing I did earlier, just by cutting a couple rows off, making it a smaller plant, and then it will fit in there just fine. I hot glue it towards the back of the ball vase like that, so we have room for like this cute little palm tree with the surfboard, and I hot glue that right over here. And then we can hot glue our little hula dancer too. Now, I have a fun theme with this one. Since we went to Hawaii this year, we stayed on the Big Island. Back in August, we were celebrating our 20-year wedding anniversary. And one thing we noticed is that the beaches were, sometimes they were sand color like this, but a lot of times they were black beaches from all the lava from volcanic eruptions there. So like the sea turtles and stuff like that like to hang out at the black beaches. So we're going to incorporate that in here as well. So I'm just dumping in some tan sand to represent like the tan sand beaches at Hawaii. And using my funnel to aim again helps keep it out of the plant that I don't want it in, and gets me the sand exactly where I want it. So that's a fun hack, right? And then these are the little black pebbles from the Dollar Tree. Like they're little tiny stones, kind of like the blue ones that I like to use. And I thought this would be perfect. This looks just kind of like the black sand at a Hawaiian beach. And so we're going to just sprinkle these back here. I want it to be like one section of the terrarium. And so I am spreading that out with a paintbrush, just kind of using a tip just to try to get it over there where I wanted. And this is where you should use the funnel because you can get it exactly where you want it. Even the pebbles will work with that too. And then I thought, you know, I can just brush it with the paintbrush. That would help too. But just kind of arranging it over there for the beach, the black side of our beach. And then I realized, you know what? I could probably use a craft funnel for this too. And then I could get like the black sand right where I want it. And that worked perfectly. Now, these little plastic candy dishes they have at the Dollar Tree, the lid is the perfect size for these vases. Did you know that? So I always try to pick those up. That was one I had left over from Halloween. They have them for a lot of seasons. So we're going to have a top to this one just for fun. And then I have a little lei from the Dollar Tree to finish off our little Hawaiian experience. I thought we could just, you know, kind of wrap that around the little lid just to provide another little Hawaiian touch. And so this is an option if you kind of wanted one with a lid. You could do that as well. This would work great for outside because it would be more contained. And then I just wrapped it around the like little knob on the lid twice, trying to leave enough string. This was harder than it looked. This is when I was remembering that I have rheumatoid arthritis, and that was hard to tie, but I got it on there. And just another little tiny nod to Hawaii and our little Hawaiian themed beach terraria. Isn't it cute? Very colorful. We got the pinks, we got the bright greens. I love that we incorporated the black sand beach. That made my son smile. He was like, oh my gosh, you can tell them in your video about it, about the black sand beaches. And so I did. Super cute. And we loved Hawaii. It was the first time we've ever been, and it was magical. Okay, next DIY. This one we're going to use one of the little plastic round beach or terrariums from the Dollar Tree. This time we're going to use one of the candle holders to make a stand for it. So this isn't necessarily going to be a hanging one. I am going to leave the loop on top because, you know, why not? But this is how you can make it into a stand to kind of see how that one looks. Trying to experiment, right? Now, this is the little succulent from the Dollar Tree that comes on the little metal clip. And I thought we could modify it to make it look like an air plant. And I love it when air plants are growing out of seashells. So I found the seashell on the beach, probably the Gulf Coast, because I always find better shells like that over there. And I just pulled off the top couple rows because, again, it was too big. And I just shoved it down inside this beautiful shell that I found at the beach. And isn't that cute? It looks just kind of like an air plant that's growing out of these. And I see these for sale all the time at like craft fairs and farmer markets and stuff down here. The real ones, not the faux ones, but we're going to do a little faux version. So I didn't need to glue it or anything. It stayed put by tension, the plant inside the shell. But I do hot glue the shell to the bottom of our little round terrarium, like kind of right in the middle, so you can get a good view of our little faux air plant like that. But we can also make it look a little bit like the beach, just trying to spread out the grass a little bit. I mean, the leaves of this are definitely probably a little bit thicker than air plants, but I wanted to go with items you could use from the Dollar Tree, and not everybody can go outside and find an air plant, right? So this is the white sand. So we're going to make this one look like a white sand beach. So I'm just kind of spreading that in there. I'm trying to add it, but like not fill up the inside of the shell. So I just tried to go like, you know, around the edges. But again, not trying to get it too deep because I don't want to cover up like the beautiful details of that seashell. So I'm going to kind of rearrange my sand with a paintbrush. Kind of move it around until it is exactly where I want it. these were so much fun to make. I really hope you're enjoying these DIYs. Be sure to hit the like button if you are. And when you're done watching today, I would really appreciate it if you would comment your favorite DIY below. I always love knowing what your favorite is, so I'll know what to make in the future. So seashells again. We're gonna go with the white and brown color scheme here with those little seashells from the Dollar Tree, and just scatter a couple of them around just for a little bit more character and to kind of like, break up some of that sand. So we're just gonna kind of scatter those around in there. And this one turned out really kind of elegant. I have not put it on the stand first because, you get smarter the more of these that you make. It's kind of easier to do that at the end. That way you can kind of move it around, not have to worry about wet glue or anything like that. But I also added just a seashell I found at the beach and one of the little starfish from Amazon as well to complete our little white sand beach. And now we can put it together on the stand. So it gives this a completely different look and it makes a little base. I just love these candle holders from the Dollar Tree. This one I thought we could make it look coastal instead of just the glass, right? And so I'm just going to take some of that twine. This is the twine from Walmart. It's a little bit thicker than the twine from Dollar Tree, but you could totally use the one from Dollar Tree. And I just stirred it with a little hot glue and wrap it all the way around the base, leaving the glass exposed on top where I can still glue that to the plastic terrarium. All the way down here to the bottom, hot glue and snip that off. This is a little rough looking, so I am going to try to burn off some of the fuzzies with a lighter, but it also needed a little trimming too. I love that twine, but it is a little rough sometimes. But I think that provided a really fun coastal base to this. Adds another little coastal touch as well. But we're going to glue it on the same way with the little cement glue, hot glue, and then just stick the little plastic terrarium right on top. Easy peasy, and you don't need to hang this one. And it has a nice little pedestal to sit up on, kind of making it a larger, more complete project. I was trying to remember not to show you these because I don't want everything to fall over. So this is how it looks with our little seashell I found at the beach, with our little faux air plant using the succulent from the Dollar Tree, some white sand, seashells, and a jute twine wrapped base. I think it's so cute. What do you guys think about this one? Hey guys, I wanted to make another one. This one I wanted to do something really fun with. I wanted to kind of look like fish swimming underwater. So I thought we could pull that off, right? So this is another one of the bubble vases from the Dollar Tree, made out of glass, the same larger one. That's my favorite one. And we're going to do a pedestal for this too. But the reason I picked this one for this DIY is I wanted to make it look like a fishbowl, right? So I am going to use the candle holder on this one like that. I think that kind of looks like a fishbowl. Now, I picked up the lavender just because I kind of like the leaves. I thought the leaves looked like, seaweed a little bit. I liked the colors. They were very soft. And I wanted some seaweed for the background of our little ocean habitat. And as you can see, I finally found those chipboard pieces. I need to take a picture of all of them. There's like 4 or 5 different kinds. I think 4 different kinds of these. And I found it at my larger, actually that really big Dollar Tree in Port St. Lucie, that one that used to be a Walgreens. And look at these, they're beautiful. These are the fish ones. They're already colored. As you can see, there were sea turtles there. Oh my gosh, there's so many options. And they're already painted. They're so cute. So I thought we could make it look like those little goldfish were swimming in a fishbowl for a terrarium. Just to mix it up a little bit, make it look like it's under the water and not at the beach. Now I want it to look like they're swimming in there, and so I need them to be floating up in the fishbowl somehow. So I'm just going to use a couple of toothpicks to make that happen. I just cut like the tips off, making a tiny little dowel that we can attach to the back of our fish. And these are like the chipboard pieces. I'm thrilled with these. I knew they had these because I had seen all the different kinds like on their website. DollarTree.com, but I have never seen them in the stores. I was so happy to find them. I thought they were Shore Living because that's where they showed up on the website, but they were actually Crafter Square, and they were in the Crafter Square section with the other chipboard items. And so I cut the two toothpicks different sizes. So one fish will be swimming higher than the other fish, but 2 fish is definitely enough for a fishbowl this size. Like that. Now, to make them stand up, I thought we would use the same Dollar Tree hack that we used to make the little tiny plants by using the little gold beads. They've worked really well for everything else. So I just do a bead of hot glue and glue my toothpick right in, making sure it stands straight up before the glue sets up. And we're going to go ahead and do that with both of our little fish. And then we can glue those little glass beads to the bottom of our fishbowl. Now for this one, I didn't want to do like the blue sand for the water. I thought we could try to use something else for this one. So we're going to use those little light blue pebbles that you always see at the Dollar Tree. I think those are the perfect color for an ocean. So we're going to glue these kind of like one side by side in here. And again, I did stagger the height of these to make them different heights. Super fun. My son came out like while I was making this one, and he's like, "Is that a fishbowl one?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Do you have an idea? What does it need?" And he gave me a great idea. You'll see here in just a minute. He always has the best ideas. So that's what it looks like so far with our 2 little fish swimming in the fishbowl. So whimsical and fun. Now, if you can't find these exact fish, you could do the same one with like the chipboard fish. You could just paint them. And these are the blue pebbles. I already have like an open bag of those, so we're just gonna dump those in. Instead of like sand at the bottom, we're gonna do the pebbles, and it's gonna look like water. I kind of want to do it higher in the back than in the front, so you can see the fish with like the blue background behind them, so it looks like they're swimming. Now, I didn't attach any of the plants or anything to the bottom just because I didn't think that they were tall enough to be able to reach out from the top of the sand. So I need something to kind of like shove down into the rocks to attach, and so I might as well just use the wires that were already on the plant. So I just cut those off and put kind of the plant back together, if you will. And I didn't want it falling off though, so I do kind of like bend that over. And it's a little bit hard to bend this, so I just used a pair of pliers. And then I can just kind of shove my like little seaweed down inside the water like that. And I just want to add a few of these for a fun little seaweed background. And we are going to add more to this too, because I had another idea of something that could be in the background, kind of like a little coral reef, but with something different than what we used before. Thank you so much for making it this far in the video. If you don't know, YouTube really rewards a creator and a video if you watch the video all the way through. So I always appreciate it if you watch my entire video. And if you could only have enough time to watch part of it, you know, if you could come back later and finish it, it really does help my video with the algorithm with YouTube. So just a tip in case you didn't know that. Now, this was my other idea. Coral, right? These are the little Christmas tree ornaments that I buy a ton of every Christmas at Dollar Tree, because if you just pop the little stem off, they look just like coral. So they're made out of plastic. They do have glitter on them, but that's fine. And they're so easy to break. You can just break them with your fingers because they're just made out of plastic, but they make the best coral. And I kind of snapped it in half to make a smaller piece, and then that piece, I'm going to snap that in half too and make little pieces of like branching white coral that I can kind of stand up behind the fish as well, along with the seaweed. And this is so pretty. It looks like something that would be a beautiful like white coral reef. and just kind of arranging them there in the back. I decided I did want a little bit more seaweed to make it look more symmetrical, and I did have a couple more of the leaves off of that lavender, I think it was. So I just used the wires again, pinching that in there. That seemed to work well. The wire was heavy enough, and you can kind of like, you know, bury it down into the pebbles to make it stay in place. And I just kind of want to stagger like seaweed, coral, seaweed along the back to give it an interesting background. Now, this was my son's idea. He said they need bubbles. So then my idea was something I had to try to find a way to make bubbles. These are the little blue glass gemstones from the Dollar Tree. And I thought they'd make the perfect bubbles because they're blue, they're round, and they kind of look like bubbles, right? And so then I had to figure out how can I attach these bubbles to make it look like they're floating in the fish tank as well, because we're not adding any water or anything like that. So toothpicks worked well for the fish, so I grabbed a few more toothpicks and I just cut down my toothpick and hot glued that to the back. These kind of have a flat back, and so it's kind of perfect for gluing that to the back, but then the bubble shape will still be on the front. So we're going to do 2 here, kind of to go on each side of our fish, kind of floating in the front of our fish tank. And we're going to use the gold beads to make them stand up as well. Even though we've already got the pebbles in there, I think we're still going to be able to make it work because that'll give us something we can bury down into the pebbles. So I just put a dot of hot glue in each one of the gold beads, and we're going to glue the toothpicks to those. I do end up adding a 3rd bubble, and I'll show you how I did that as well. But I think this was a great idea because it really gives the effect that the fish are swimming in a little fishbowl. I do add a little hot glue just to try to help it stay into place. And then I try to bury it down into the pebbles. I found that the hot glue stuck to the pebbles and not really where I wanted it to, but we're going to try again. Just got to be quick. And gluing it right down inside. Now, I think I want one more, right? And I kind of want it to be towards the back, and I already have the coral back there, so I might as well take advantage of that. I can just glue one to the coral, and it will look like that bubble is floating in the back. So I was just looking to see if that would look good, and it does. So I'm just going to put some hot glue on the back. Aren't these glass gemstones from the Dollar Tree so pretty? I always tend to use the blue ones more than the white ones, but I think they're gorgeous. And this is definitely a very fun, whimsical little beach terrarium. Now, there was the base we're going to add, but then I wanted to add a little beach. We got to have a little beach, right? So I'm going to aim my tan sand with the funnel right here in the front, just to do a very small beach right in front. Just to bring a little bit of sand in and a little contrast. Now we can attach it to the base. Again, attaching it to the base is kind of best left to the end because you can do whatever you need to do with it and then glue the base on later, and it has time to dry. So the multi-purpose cement, the hot glue combination, that's worked so well for so many of these beach terrariums, and we just glue that right on top. And now this is kind of a fishbowl terrarium, but also a beach terrarium. And this was really fun to make. I always looking for an excuse to use those little Christmas ornaments from the Dollar Tree. You guys have seen me make a million coastal Christmas DIYs with them, but look how cute this is. We have our little goldfish swimming in water, a little coral reef. We've got big bubbles. I think this one is so fun. I really thought this was really fun to make. What do you guys think about our little fishbowl terrarium? Okay, we're going to go out with a bang. Terrarium number 10 is going to be a big one. So I got this garden dish at the Dollar Tree. It's made out of plastic, but it's kind of heavy duty. It's called a garden dish. And I thought we could make like a big giant beach terrarium and use some really fun items from the Dollar Tree and the Dollar Spot at Target. I wanted to do like a whole scene here. We've got plenty of room to work with. So I kind of want to build up the back to make it look like a beach dune. So I want it to be higher. So I'm just going to use Dollar Tree rocks. It doesn't matter which ones you use because you're really not going to be able to see this part. I do put a little hot glue on the sides just to kind of make them stay there. But otherwise, I'm just kind of pushing them up against the wall and kind of gluing some more on top to make that hill kind of stand in place, if you will. Then we're going to fill up the front part, the front 2/3 with my last package of Dollar Tree tan sand. I'm going to have to go steal some sand from the beach. I have a feeling. Unless Dollar Tree can get me some tan sand in. And I pour that out. I would like a little bit more, but we're going to make it work, right? And then I found this little tiki bar at the Dollar Tree in the Fairy Garden section. I thought this would be really cute. We can make it look like a little beach scene with your own little private tiki bar. Perfect, huh? But I want that to be kind of back in the dune area of this one. So just kind of working that down in between the sand and the rocks in the back. And we're not going to leave it all rocky like that. I mean, I guess you could if you wanted a rocky shore. But I want it to look like kind of tropical. Kind of Florida, if you will. So I'm going to use some of this reindeer moss, the green moss from the Dollar Tree. I'm not going to glue it on. I'm just going to kind of lay it all over the top of the rocks just to give it a green color because I kind of want this to look like, you know, like a sand dune, but I also want it to look kind of crazy and tropical back there. Just to provide some height towards the back of this beach terrarium. And definitely a splash of color back there as well. And then I said I wanted it to look tropical. Check out this cool greenery I found at the Dollar Tree. They've been coming up with some really cute garland. This one looks super tropical, right? It's got those long fern leaves on there. And so I thought this would be great. We could make like greenery for the background and like for the dune. And all you gotta do is pull it off, the plastic like that. And I'm just kind of arranging them all over a little sand dune area to make it look overgrown, kind of like a tropical little rainforest going on back here. And just kind of working them in wherever I can. And then I wanted flowers too. I picked up this cute little flower pick at Dollar Tree because I thought like the pink and purple flowers kind of look tropical, right? And so again, I'm just going to pull those off and kind of stand those out by kind of pushing the stem of the flowers down in between the rocks we have there on the back of our dune. But I decided a little hot glue might help too to make sure it stands up. This one had like 2 little pink flowers on there and like a purple flower. And we're just going to kind of arrange those back here on the back of our little tiki bar. Doing the super tropical background, and then we can do the super beachy front to this. So this is kind of like a fairy garden, beach terrarium like combo, if you will. Now I did have some of that blue sand left that we mixed earlier to make it lighter, and I needed more sand, so I tried to use that in the front. It looks kind of cute, but I didn't think there was really enough of it, and so I do add to that later, but it does kind of look cute like that. Just to do like a little splashing ocean wave at the front of our beach. And these are from the Target Dollar Spot. They have some fairy garden items now, and they are adorable. Check these out. We got a cute little beach chair, a beach umbrella, and there's even a lifeguard tower. Now, a little pricier than the Dollar Tree, but the quality is incredible on these. It was $5 at the Target Dollar Spot for these 3 items. So not too expensive. We're going to do that beautiful little red and white beach chair right there in the middle of our beach. And then I also wanted to do this beach umbrella. It has a wood base, so I can just kind of bury that down inside my sand. Probably should have glued it down, but I might want to be able to take this one apart in the future because these items are so cute. I would probably want to reuse them if I were done with this. Now, I really loved the turquoise beach umbrella, but I didn't like how it kind of clashed with the green on my Dollar Tree tiki hut. So I'm just going to take some turquoise acrylic, and we're just going to paint like the green parts of our tiki hut, that turquoise color. Super easy, just going over the green part with a small brush, brightening that up, and it's going to make it coordinate better with the Target Dollar Spot Fairy Garden decoration, kind of make them look like they go together. But isn't that tiki bar cute? It's a really nice size for a fairy garden item. And $1.25 compared to 3 for $5. Not too much of a difference in price. And just hot gluing that down to kind of make that stay in place when we go ahead and put our little tiki bar back down. Now let's get decorating our beach. I still have those 2 little sandcastle fairy garden decorations that I could use. I have so many beach fairy garden items. They came out with so many more this year than they normally carry. This is a little like beach happy place sign. So I thought that would be cute over here, like by our like little beach umbrella, our little beach chair. Kind of burying that down in the sand as well. And then this is like a little fairy garden hermit crab. Super cute. And I also have like a little pelican. So I'm just kind of like going through my stash of fairy garden beach creatures. I think I'm going to put him over on the shore like he is over here right at the edge of the ocean. And then I am just going to kind of arrange my sand there a little bit. I don't want like too much stuff on the beach, but I think the sandcastles are adorable. So I was kind of trying to determine which one I want, just kind of playing around with it a little bit, seeing which way this is going to look the best. This looks so cute. I think I might put this one on the table by my front door. It's kind of protected there from the weather. Might hold up there. I hope so. I think it's so cute. Either that or I'll use it in my floater room. Now this is another version of the sand bucket from the fairy garden. This one's a blue bucket. It's cute. It's got like a starfish and a shell in it too. So we're going to put that one there. Kind of liking my layout. Seeing if I have anything else I can add to it. But I like the combination. The Dollar Tree Fairy Garden stuff though. Super cute, right? So I thought the pelican would be really cute over here in the sand dune. Kind of like peeking out of the jungle. So I just kind of sit him there. Then I decided I didn't really think that there was enough sand in there with that blue sand in the front. So I thought we would fill it up a little bit more. And so I'm going to cover up the blue sand part with some of these blue pebbles. Just to add a little bit more depth here. And again, I'm using the Dollar Tree funnel to try to help aim that. But you got to make sure that your rocks are not too big. But I'll just sprinkle it. Just kind of covering up the area that I had the blue sand. And I think this is definitely a nice like ocean color of blue. And it's going to add a little bit more depth there and make it look fuller. And I want to be like on that beach chair with my own little tiki bar there. Perfect little day at the beach terrarium. What do you guys think about this one? It's nice and large, and I think this is a perfect finale piece. So cute. I love all the little details. The fairy garden items and the fairy items from the Dollar Tree are just the cutest. Look at that chair. And that umbrella. They look so high end. And that tiki bar from the Dollar Tree is great as well. Hey guys, I wanted to let you guys know that I've introduced memberships on my channel. For $4.99 a month, you can support my channel here on YouTube. You're going to get early ad-free access to my videos, and you're going to get other perks as well, like shout-outs. I want to give a huge thank you to the following Crafty Beach Bum members. I have 9 now. Thank you to Coastal Couple. I am Mojo Jojo, Jamie Job, Karen O'Haron, Leanne, Mary Banks, Melinda Elizabeth, Pamela Bergeron, and Sally Cooper. I really appreciate your support, and it helps keep these videos coming. Hopefully I pronounced all your all's names okay. And now it's time for the final reveal. Here is our little Crafty Beach sea turtle. I think we need to name him. What do you guys think? Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.
Look ahead, the sea is calm, and I know we've been through a lot, but just wait. Wait for better days to come and carry us like wind in our sails. Hold on tight, I can smell the shore, it's right in front of us if we just hold on tight. This vision that I saw is getting closer every dawn. We are dreamers of the shore. 7 years now on this boat, and we all know where we belong. Just wait. For our home to show on the horizon, soon we'll be there. Hold on tight, I can smell the shore, it's right in front of us if we just hold on tight. This vision that I saw is getting closer every dawn. We are dreamers of the shore when we can't read the sky. We just sail with the wind that we've got, and when we're drowning in doubt, just keep on believing. We are dreamers of the shore. For better days to come and carry us like wind in our sails.
Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to watch more Crafty Beach, YouTube thinks you might enjoy this video right here.